The 5S methodology is a system for organizing a workspace to improve efficiency, safety, and productivity, originating from the Toyota Production System for Lean Manufacturing. The 5S's focus on decluttering, organizing, cleaning, creating rules, and maintaining the system to eliminate waste and build a quality work environment. Have you ever tried to locate a small object in a bedroom or prepare a meal on a cluttered countertop? Chances are, you were unable to quickly find what you were looking for, which interfered with the ability to complete the task efficiently. Even familiar tasks are far more challenging when you can't easily obtain what you need due to a disorganized or overcrowded space. The 5S methodology was created to help the manufacturing industry address exactly these kinds of issues, so organizations can remain more agile and competitive. In fact, the 5S philosophy might best be summarized by the time-honored adage, a place for everything, and everything in its place. 5S had its early origins in the Japanese automotive industry. It was initially part of the Toyota Production System, created in the 1950s by the Toyota Motor Company to help the organization become more agile in an increasingly competitive marketplace. Toyota sought to radically eliminate any part of the automotive production process that contributed to muda, the Japanese word for waste. A key component of this overall strategy involved rearranging and organizing the shop floor in a way that would keep it consistently neat and orderly. This minimized the amount of time spent hunting for tools and equipment. It also reduced unnecessary movement that removed focus from the core tasks at hand, and it reduced the misplacement of raw materials. As the framework became more established over time, the system began to coalesce around 5 core focus areas. Each of these areas could be described using a word that began with the letter S, which is what inspired the 5S name. Here are the original Japanese terms for these core elements, each of which specifically describes a sequential step of 5S. Seri. To sort through and eliminate that which is not truly needed. Saiton. To organize what remains after sorting. Seisu. To clean and inspect the work area. Seikatsu. To create standards that support a repeatable process. And Shitsu. To consistently apply these standards across work areas. This Eastern philosophy led to significantly increased productivity. It was only a matter of time before Western manufacturing organizations began taking notice, and the 5S system solidified into a paradigm that became substantially more widespread. Eventually, the original Japanese terms were translated into English counterparts that also began with the letter S. These English language equivalents are as follows. Sort. Equivalent of Seri. Straighten. Equivalent of Saiton. Shine. Equivalent of Seisu. Standardize. Equivalent of Seikatsu. And sustain. Equivalent of Shitsu. At their core, these 5S activities build the discipline needed for substantial and continuous improvement by creating and sustaining efficient and effective work areas. 5S is critical to maintaining order in the ever-evolving complexities of today's world. While it's a significant amount of work to implement, it is straightforward, especially if employees are encouraged to buy in and follow the components of a 5S system. Next, we will delve deeper into each element. The sort step separates items in the workspace that will be needed from items won't or may not be needed. The latter items will be moved to a red tag holding area. It may be asked, why is sort needed? Sort creates a more productive workspace by removing unneeded clutter and eliminating distractions. It also is a first step towards opening up space for other uses. Sorting involves separating and categorizing items based on their usefulness. Set aside a specific time frame and encourage employees to look at every item in their workspace. Ask them to decide whether each item is truly necessary for daily operations. It is recommended to sort items into 4 categories. They are 1. Items needed in this work area. These are items known to be regularly used in the context of this work area and thus will remain there. 2. Items needed in another work area. These are typically misplaced items. If an item is used in another work area, sort it into that area by delivering it to the responsible team member. 3. Items that may be needed. For items the team is unsure about, use the 5S red tag system. Mark such items with red tags, which at a minimum, should have written on them the name of who tagged the item, why it is thought to no longer be needed, a proposed review date, and the name of the manager who must approve of disposal. Move the item to a red tag holding area, which should be organized by review month to make it easy to manage. And 4. Items not needed. These are items that the team is 100% confident are not needed. They should be immediately discarded, recycled, donated, or sold if in good condition. The key advantages of sort include more organized workspaces, reduce clutter, lower risk of accidents thanks to clearer pathways and more open spaces, streamlined workflows that helps reduce unnecessary movement, and increased focus, which can reduce stress and enhance employee morale. The straighten step thoroughly organizes the items that remain after sorting, making frequently used items easily accessible and providing every item a clear and easy-to-find home. Why is straighten needed? Straighten enables every item to have a specific home where it can be easily found and to which it can be easily returned. It reduces the waste from excess motion, as items are placed in more ergonomic locations. It is also the second step on the path to opening up space that can be used strategically toward the goal of improving production. After items have been sorted, it's time to decide how to organize them. Straightening involves systematically organizing the newly decluttered workspace. The following methodology is recommended. 1. Make time. Set aside a specific interval of time and ask employees to examine the remaining items in their work area. 2. Provide easy access to frequently used items. For each item, have team members designate a location that optimizes order and accessibility. The key to reducing waste from excess motion is to place frequently used items within easy reach. Encourage the team to consider how they move about their space so they can minimize unnecessary motion. 3. Group like items. Group the remaining items into logical categories and brainstorm the best way to organize and store each of these categories. 4. Equip teams with organizational aids. Provide permanent markers, pegboards, hooks, chalk, and/or masking tape. Pegboards create designated hanging spaces that keep tools off the floor and in one predictable spot. Tape and chalk can help specify pathways along the floor that need to be kept clear. Shelves and bins can create compartmentalized storage space. 5. Utilize visual designs. For each group, decide on the best way to make it clear when an item is missing or misplaced. A classic example is creating a shadow board for tools. 6. Unleash the labeler. If an item is too big to put into a container, consider giving it a frame and putting a label on the item in addition to the frame. Labels can help highlight the contents of shelving areas, crates, and cubicles. 7. Be intentional. Encourage employees to carefully evaluate details such as distance, height, and reachability, factors that can minimize strain and enhance ergonomic comfort. And 8. Be agile. The initial straighten pass will likely deliver a significant improvement, but are also likely to overlook some potential improvements. Plan a 5S team meeting with a focus on straightening at the 1 and 2 week points, and brainstorm further improvements as part of the initial implementation. Key straighten advantages include less worker fatigue and strain, which supports healthy ergonomics. Less extraneous motion to help streamline response time. More organized work areas. Clearer pathways that lower the risk of accidents. And improved team engagement and communication. The Shine Step elevates the work area by ensuring thoroughly clean and inspected tools, equipment, and other items. It also can include routine maintenance on equipment, which is one of the ways it flows directly into total production management. Why is Shine needed? Shine creates a work environment that engages and empowers operators by giving them more responsibility and agency over their work area. It also helps them to identify problems before they interfere with production. For example, in a clean work environment, it is much easier to spot emerging issues such as fluid leaks, material spills, metal shavings from unexpected wear, hairline cracks and mechanisms, etc. After items have been straightened, it's time to elevate the work area by cleaning, inspecting, and in some cases, performing routine maintenance. The following is recommended. 1. Create a schedule. Encourage employees to create a shine checklist that summarizes which items need to be cleaned or wiped down, how often, and by which individual. 2. Grab the metaphorical spray bottle. Provide ready access to the appropriate cleaning solutions, buckets, gloves, rags, dust cloths, and/or mops. Using appropriate cleaners and tools, make the work area sparkle. With every sweep, mop, brush, wipe, wash, and wax, strive to return the workspace to its former glory. Be Miyagi. 3. Find the source. The guiding principle of this 5S step is clean to understand. If there are any signs of leaks, spills, or unexpected debris, strive to understand the source. It is likely an early warning of a future problem. 4. Inspect. After cleaning each item, take a moment to look it over and examine its condition. Does it need updating, maintenance, or repair? Carry out cleanliness inspections at regular intervals, even occasionally unannounced, to ensure that workers are adhering to established protocols and schedules. And 5. Take initiative. Encourage employees to share feedback and identify ongoing areas for improvement. Some key advantages of Shine include less buildup of grease and grime, reduced risk of equipment malfunctions and tool breakage, enhanced efficiency, greater sense of employee ownership, communication, and pride, and cleaner, more hygienic manufacturing environment. The standardized step is a bridge between the first 3 5S steps, sort, straighten, shine, and the last step, sustain. In this step, the goal is to capture best practices for 5S as standardized work for the team. Why standardize? Standardize makes 5S repeatable. It transforms 5S from a one-off project to a reproducible set of activities. It's time to make sure all the hard work continues to pay dividends into the future. Standardizing involves reviewing the measures already taken above and documenting a repeatable process that supports a consistent and uniform approach over time. To do so, it is recommended to 1. Document in pairs. Have one team member walk through each 5S task as another team member documents it to ensure nothing important is missed. Check that steps are written in a way that all team members can follow. 2. Capture the essence. Employ the proponents of simplicity and agile. Capture the essence of each task and no more. Otherwise, the documentation will be difficult to maintain. 3. Prefer checklists. Checklists feel easy. Short checklists feel even easier. A great format is providing a name for each task that serves as a quick reminder and a more detailed description for training. 4. Organize to simplify. Organize checklists by role, shift, and frequency, like daily, weekly, and monthly. This will make the 5S process much less intimidating to the team. 5. Review and consolidate. Collaboratively review and consolidate these notes, gradually creating more formalized documentation that can serve as an orderly, systematic procedure. The goal should be providing clear yet detailed steps that can help others repeat each activity smoothly and efficiently. 6. Emphasize accountability. Assign teammates to review each section of the documentation and make updates at specified intervals. And 7. Use descriptive names. Name the guide in a way that incorporates a version number and date. This information can then be modified whenever a new document is published, so everyone knows they're working from the latest guidelines. Key standardized advantages include improved consistency and organization across workspaces, sense of employee pride, collaboration, ownership, and engagement, increased employee compliance, enhanced collective attention to detail, and repeatability that supports steadily increasing productivity, employee morale, and product quality. And the last step is sustain. The sustain step ensures that 5S is applied on an ongoing basis. It transforms the standardized 5S processes into regularly completed tasks. Why sustain? Iterative 5S processes lock in the gains and ensure further and continued progress. Once the area is standardized, it's time to continually act upon those standards. Sustaining the 5S methodology means focusing on maintaining the developed process with an eye toward continuous improvement or Kaizen. To execute sustain, it is recommended to 1. Create a schedule. Embed 5S practices as scheduled tasks by role, shift, and frequency, encouraging the team to follow the established guidelines in each meeting. 2. Set measurable goals. Determine key performance indicators or KPIs that align effective implementation to critical measures like reduced defect rates or cycle times. 3. Teach through demonstration. Appoint one or more employees as trainers. The trainers instruct employees on how to conduct 5S tasks through demonstration. Showing employees what is expected of them will prepare them to conduct tasks on their own. 4. Supervise to solo. After initial 5S training for employees, gently supervise while they continue to form habits. It is easy to make mistakes or fall off course, so patiently and helpfully offer corrections when needed. 5. Audit 5S practices. Periodically audit the process through inspections, employee meetings, and team reviews. And 6. Adapt as necessary. Establish an avenue for ongoing team feedback and encourage it, using either a monitored email address or a suggestion box on the plant floor. When giving or receiving feedback on tasks, see where changes can be made to make the tasks easier and more efficient. Standardized work is intended to be living documentation. The key sustain advantages include sense of team empowerment and ownership, culture of ongoing learning, collaboration, and continuous improvement, enhanced focus on productivity, efficiency, effective communication, and quality output, and expanded career pathways through specialized roles like 5S trainers. The above concepts simple and clear-cut in meaning, yet applying them consistently requires considerable discipline. Said another way, while the 5S process is straightforward and cost-effective to implement, it is not necessarily easy. Through dedicated practice and incremental progress, manufacturing organizations undertaking a 5S initiative can create more efficient, organized work areas that lead to sustained, continuous improvement, the Japanese concept of Kaizen. As with any new approach, sometimes a degree of change management is required to remind teams about the importance of 5S adoption. Here are some suggestions for encouraging buy-in. 1. Develop a timeline. Employees unfamiliar with 5S principles might need some time to absorb what it involves so they can understand new expectations. Give employees a running start by introducing the idea of 5S implementation a few weeks or months before planning an official kickoff. Create simple informational materials that focus on each step and its many advantages. Explain how 5S supports lean manufacturing initiatives. Emphasize that the goal is to help support employee engagement, advancement, and open communication. Also consider posting flyers and sharing handouts that remind the team about this important methodology. 2. Tap into technology. Why just stick with paper flyers or a whiteboard? Consider using a mobile app to share reminders, tip sheets, suggestion forms, and 5S training tools. Digital signage or production floor scoreboards are another great way to share highly visible reminders and encouraging messages that can significantly boost team awareness and engagement. 3. Demonstrate top-down support. Ask the management team to be vocal about supporting the 5S initiative. Consider creating a short video message that can play on production line monitors, or distribute FAQs written by a respected leadership figure that emphasizes the many benefits of adopting 5S. Make a suggestion box available well in advance. This helps to cement the idea that the 5S initiative is a positive step toward increased team ownership, collaboration, and engagement. And 4. Announce awards. Everyone likes to feel recognized for a job well done. Create quarterly 5S merit awards that encourage teammates to go the extra mile. Announce fun competitions with prizes that include traveling trophies, logo-adorned hats, framed certificates, special treats, or even just bragging rights. Consider utilizing the 5S trainer role as a step-up opportunity for employees interested in coaching and educating others. With its strong ties to lean manufacturing, 5S places the focus squarely on eliminating multiple kinds of waste, enhancing agility, and decreasing the costs associated with inefficiency and extraneous movement. It's safe to say that 5S is a proven paradigm for enhancing organization, tidiness, employee engagement, and productivity on the manufacturing floor, and perhaps that's the perfect segue to the bonus S of this time-honored approach. We hope you found this training valuable. Please click the subscribe button so you can access additional FSTG training videos.